if you start charging too much for it, and then the flow that comes through is either low or just not quality. It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Indeed, to me, is the new Angie's List of the recruiting world, because they try to screw over. They view the applicant as their customer, and they screw over and keep charging more and more and more to the small business owner that's trying to use them to recruit. And they're making the same mistakes that Home Advisor and Angie's List did. And I think it's a mistake that all of these companies are making because they see Google coming, right? You can now run Google ads for your job titles. So I was searching the other day, and it's funny. Indeed is buying Google ads to list jobs, and Google is their competitor. Like they're paying their competitor to list, because nobody searches on Indeed anymore. They search on Google. And so Indeed has to buy the space on Google to show up at the top. And so there's Google for Jobs, which is kind of like the 3-pack, the SEO, if you will, of recruiting on Google. But Google's going to start running Google ads for jobs, because that's where people go and look. Just like nobody goes to Home Advisor or Angie's List anymore. Home Advisor and Angie's List got to keep showing up on Google. Otherwise, nobody's going to go there. People go to Google, and I think recruiting is going to end up being the same. Everybody's going to just start at Google, which they're used to doing for everything else. And then Google's just going to intercept them. And so Indeed is paying there. But in turn, Indeed has to go do the same thing where it has to screw over its customers, because it just needs to scrape as much money as it can before Google takes them over and kicks them out. And they just keep making terrible decisions, just like Angie's List and Home Advisor have both done. From our perspective as operators anyway.
Well, and as it's grown, I mean, I remember we used to be able to post on Indeed, and all you had to do was it was kind of like the whole Vistaprint checkout, where if you click on the really bright, shiny buttons, you'll spend more money with Vistaprint, but there was always a kind of clear spot to want to do any extra. And same thing with Indeed. And the last office person, she was working on stuff, and she's like, I can't get it to post without, if you posted that you were hiring more than one person, it wanted you to pay money. You had to pay money for it to post. Well, no, this is a free directory. By all means, if not as many people see it, so be it. But forcing me to promote it to even post it is kind of, I don't know, that just definitely has rubbed me the wrong way.
Yep. And I get that you need to pay for their thing. Just like you used to pay for Angie's List, or you pay for Home Advisor. I don't have a problem paying for it. But the playing field has to be level, where we're all competing the same way. And if you start charging too much for it, and then the flow that comes through is either low or just not quality, which we've seen both, right? We've seen the flow be low and the cost per click be too high. And that's not all Indeed's fault. Some of that's just the labor market, but also just they're selling the same applicant, the same clicks over and over and over and over and over again. And so if you start making that expensive, the conversion rate just doesn't make sense for the person that's hiring. The cost per click or the cost per applicant or whatever. And they're just they have to gouge, because the world's being taken from them. And that's their reaction, is oh shit, we better get our money now. Because Google's, I kind of wonder, I know Google and ZipRecruiter are friendly, and Google and Indeed are not. And I wonder, which one of them does Google buy? Does Google take out Indeed and then stays friendly with Zip, or does it buy ZipRecruiter because they're already friendly? It'll be really interesting to see how the recruiting world unfolds. It's 2 to 3 years behind the marketing world. I feel the different.
I don't think that they've accurately. I mean, they, like you said, who's the actual customer, and realizing that the what's had to change these last couple of years, how much more competitive it is, and how badly companies need, to be able to get these people, get in front of people. It seems like we're fighting a battle with we're going to war against the United States with bows and arrows. Good luck with this. We get some upgraded Stark technology or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting how it shakes out. Like I said, I think Google's going to win because they already have the audience. and they don't screw, and they know who their customer is, right?
Yeah.
They make it easy for the applicant, but they know who their customer is. And it seems like a lot of these other companies have forgotten who the actual customer is.